Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. All right, everybody, coming back to you from Studio 2.
Studio 2, because we have 2 studios.
That's right. And today is another interview with a very lovely lady.
Yay.
Who wishes to keep her identity a little anonymous, but it's one of those things, if you know.
You know.
You know. So we would like to welcome to the show Miss Ashley. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. So you've actually been a part of a couple of episodes, but unfortunately, the audio sucked on them and they did not get released.
And there may have been a mention of me a time or two.
Maybe.
Maybe once.
Maybe twice. I mean, come on. You're part of the internal group that we spend lots of time and do lots of activities with.
Yes.
And have so much fun.
It is so much fun.
Yep, you are definitely part of the inner circle and have been for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly.
I think she knew everybody longer than us, probably.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
right?
Yes. I have been around in the lifestyle for 14, 15 years.
Right.
So I've know a lot of people.
Yeah.
Run into a lot over the years. And
Well, and you're also one of those people that when you meet somebody else, you never meet a stranger. You're always just so happy and sunshiny and positive vibes. 98% of the time. 98% of the time.
Our friend here has the nickname of the feral friend.
She has her moments, yes.
Being feral doesn't mean you're not nice.
That's right. She just likes to poke the bear.
I do like to poke the bear.
And
It's
it's
so
fun.
much fun.
Yes.
I know I'm still owed some punishment from the subby day that did not get aired because of poor audio.
Man, I'm so sad. Like, I put so much time and effort into that one, and we've all listened to it.
And it's a beautiful episode.
It's just that there's enough crackling that it cannot be aired
And
on the podcast.
I can't find where it come from to even eliminate the noise from it. I tried everything I could think of. Of course, I'm no audio engineer expert or anything, but I've done every little trick I could think of to get rid of it.
You're good friends with Dante and Zora.
Correct.
And Milady K. You have been a sub for her maybe once or twice
This week.
Yeah.
I actually did a rope class with her yesterday and technically had my first suspension. She picked me up. We were just testing it. She picked me up just straight with this thigh harness, only about like an inch or two off the ground.
But that's awesome.
But that was technically my first suspension. So
There you
were
go.
kind of
Man,
excited about that.
I'm very sad. I need some suspension.
Yeah, we gotta make that happen. I mean, all the free time that we have, we should be able to slide that in anywhere.
Right. Why don't you have everything set up in the ceiling to where you can
We do.
that?
We do.
We have hard points.
Do you?
We just haven't done a rope here yet.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of rope. I bought a lot of rope right after we did the Kinktasia when we did the boot camp.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of
Yeah,
rope.
I can suspend you. I'm just not going to guarantee it's the safest way to do it because I do not know rope. I am not a rigger. I went to that one boot camp.
Me too. That's it.
And I learned 2 knots And then I stopped. I stopped class. The class kept going, but I quit paying attention because I just stayed focused on those 2 knots. Because if I kept going, I wouldn't remember none of them. So I know how to do 2 knots.
Do you still remember how?
Probably not.
We haven't touched it. It's been a rough winter with a lot of Kentucky weather stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
It's been crazy.
How was your winter?
It was a nightmare. I moved on my own for the first time in my life.
Are you enjoying that?
I love it.
It's your own sanctuary. Your whole place is now your sanctuary. I need that in my life.
Girl, come hang on the cuddle couch.
I'll tell you what, why don't you rent the Airbnb down here? And
Rent?
And then this could be your sanctuary.
Rent? Master Nick, we jointly own this.
But it can be your girls' den.
That's
be
right.
like, no boys allowed. I'll make you a sign.
All I need is the sign. That's what I need.
Yeah.
It'll make it perfect.
It will.
All right. I can't be feral. I'm going to get into trouble. I don't want to get into trouble. Ashley, please.
Don't let her
please.
feral personality rub off on you.
Am I turning into Zora and getting you into trouble?
Yeah. See, you was feral enough yesterday.
Did you
poking and
hear
jabbing.
about what Master Nick did to Zora?
I saw some pictures where Dante had to cover up some marks.
Yeah,
Was
and-
that you?
And that's where I failed at. I did not get a single picture of the brand that I put on her ass.
Oh, you put a brand on her.
She asked to be branded, and I was like,
But
hell
it's
yeah,
it's a
come
brand
around.
from the
It's the electric wand.
wand.
So it's
the
temporary.
attachment.
It's temporary. It only lasts a day, maybe 2,
What
and then it goes away.
But wait, it was multiple days after that when you could still see it under there,
he tried covering it.
and it made
I
it.
could still see it. I still know it's there.
Oh God, that was so much.
So how does one acquire this brand? Because now I'm intrigued.
It just takes getting the electric wand and the branding electrode. And I did learn a valuable lesson on Zora.
Valuable.
It's better to find an ink pen or a marker and draw what you want to brand, because while you're doing it, it's hard. It doesn't show up very well.
And it hurts,
And
so
she
they're
kept
wiggling.
moving, and she kept moving. So my initials turned into a MP. So by the end of the night, I think everybody kind of agreed that the MP stood for Master's Problem, which I was okay with. I was okay with.
Yes, that is perfect.
And then apparently, when we was leaving the club that night, we had messaged Sir Dante for a favor because he was coming to help us that Saturday, and somehow he already knew about the brand before we got home and before Zora got home. So I was trying to figure out who snitched on me, and it turns out it was Zora who was kind of preparing him for the punishment that knew she was going to get for brandishing a brand of somebody else. But yeah, Sir Dante did try covering it up, and he did post a picture on FetLife with his little saying, when somebody else makes marks, you got to cover it up. So of course, my comment was, hey, I still know what's there. So it's all that matters. Yeah, it was a good time. We had a blast with it.
It was fun. So we did, you were there at Ex Libris opening.
I also helped build that.
Yes, you did. You was a big part of that.
Because, when you're doing a home project, everybody says, hey, let me know if you need help. And nobody ever did. But I did. I helped with some vapor barrier, drywall, ceiling drywall. Terrible. Never doing that again.
Yeah, I don't
ever.
do drywall.
And the ceiling,
Yeah,
yes.
It's all
And
overhead.
even though Dante had gotten the drywall lift thing to get it up there, we were
Right. You still had
fighting
to get the drywall on the stand, and then you still kind of got to support the drywall to keep it from breaking or falling. Yeah.
100% will not do drywall.
I do not. I will not. I will hire it done. I suck at drywall. I hate drywall. I hate mudding. I hate sanding. I will hire that.
It was an experience. I'm glad I did it. I'm probably never going to do drywall again in my life either if I can avoid it. But I like walking in there knowing, I helped with this.
Right.
Even
Exactly.
my small, tiny little part.
Yep.
And
It gives you a little sense of ownership. Like it gives you pride.
yes. And I may or may not have signed my name somewhere in there.
This, us.
And
We
it's
installed
beautiful.
all of this once we moved in. So this was us.
I'll never do cabinets again either. I'll hire that shit done.
No, we did it. It was good. This one was the hardest because I had to hold it while he supported it. It was.
Yeah, I've not done cabinets. I don't know if I'd like that. But
The after effects is that they're beautiful.
it's stunning.
We have a
I love it.
wonderful basement kitchen. What more could you ask for?
Now, one of the most memorable and funniest moments I have with you,
I wasn't there, right?
you was not there. It was during our demo for Swinger Society. And Lady Dee was sick and had to miss. And we had Zora and Christina. But you was there. And you showed your support by coming up there to it, but you brought your own bag of snacks. You had popcorn, you had chips. You sat over in the corner. And
Didn't you steal the women away?
she did.
I did.
For the second demo, yes. I had just got them tied, and I turned around and they were gone.
Yes. So for that night, because I'd worked at the club at that time, so that Friday night I worked the shift. I spent the night at the club, got up early Saturday morning and cleaned it from top to bottom. And then was like, okay, I need to take a shower and a nap because I'm partying tonight. And so I did, and I had snacks from leftover from lunch. That was
I got a picture sent to me of you sitting down with some popcorn
Yes.
in your lap.
it was popcorn and chicken salad. And so I was like, I need to eat because I'm hungry now. I bought this food earlier. I don't want it to go to waste.
Right.
So I sat there and ate that. And then a little while later, y'all were being slow getting stuff. So Zora and Christina had their ropes on their hands. So I took them around a little field trip, wandered them around.
I had tied their hands, and I had turned around to get something else, and I come back to get them, and they were gone. I thought, where the fuck did they go? And then about 5 minutes later, here come Ashley, pulling both of them by the ropes. Well,
I took them on a field trip.
took them on.
Now
took 'em
you
on a
were
scenic
part
route.
of our first demo at the club. The very first demo that we did at the club was Dom's Dungeon.
Yes.
And Milady K had you as the submissive that she was using all kinds of implements on you.
Correct.
That was a fun night, too.
That was so much fun.
It's so much fun to be in the spotlight for just a short time. I don't know all the time. I'm not an all the time kind of person because when I get up, I want my sweats and my tank top and my, whatever. So, but it was fun. And you got the Florentine. She was using the Florentine.
And she had a some kind of whip.
The
that was
light up
lighted,
ones?
the
Yeah,
lighted
the
whip.
lighted LED things.
Yes, it was a little stingy.
Whippy.
Those were, those
was-
were a little brutal.
Yeah, and when we were doing our rehearsal for that, I was like, okay, that's a little stingy. I don't like stingy as much. Let's back it off just a little bit because they can see what
Right.
it's doing. I mean, I'll take the thuddy all day long, but not a fan of the stingy.
right.
Well, but I noticed that during performances, when we've done quite a few demos, I can take more. I can because your adrenaline is pumping in your body because you're like a little bit of nerves or a little bit of whatever, and I can take harder hits than normal. Now, I don't know that I could take hits the way you took hits, Miss Birthday Girl. Do you?
Oh, we can talk about that. Because you all have experienced 2 birthdays in a row with me, and this birthday was so much less than last birthday.
Yeah, I would
But
agree.
last year, it was my 40th. It was one of those things like, let's go big or go home. And I'm like, I'm going to take 40 hits in the dungeon. And having Dante take like 14 of them was a terrible idea.
I think he took more than that.
I think he took
He
more of that, too.
started and then he ended. So
Yeah.
it might have been like the last 14 because he did
Yeah.
Yes.
a substantial amount of
He
them.
he did. It was like the last 13, 14 he took
Right.
with this slight little break there. I'm probably never going that hard again.
He was bruised for weeks on that one.
Oh yeah, it was 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then 12 hours after I leave that party, I got on a plane and flew to Iceland.
And sat on a
that's
plane
right.
on the bruised butt.
Yes.
That's right. I forgot about the Iceland trip.
Yes. And it really wasn't that bad. I mean, obviously you had to just be a little tender if you sit down.
Right. A little cautious.
Yes. On the flight from JFK to Iceland, Milady K and I,
Right.
we moved our seats to the back to where we had a whole row to ourselves, and we just laid down and slept.
Okay.
So that made it a little easier.
Yeah,
I
because
could
it
lay
was
on my side.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot.
Yes. And I had him go down my thighs because I knew I couldn't take it all on my butt. I was like, let's spread it out a little bit. And I don't hate, I look back at the pictures and I love them.
I know. Isn't that like the craziest thing? We like having the marks.
I love the marks.
But that was a lot getting there.
It was a lot getting there. And there were some other factors that were going on that night emotionally that nobody knew about. I was kind of hiding and I wasn't being honest about my feelings. I was upset
Later
about
in the
something.
night, you told me, because we were sitting in the VIP talking about it. So I know later in the night you had explained to me, but at the time that all of this is going on, when you're feeling emotional, it's like, yep, you take the punishment, I guess, because it lets your brain not be actively involved.
Yes. And I think part of being able to open up is when we got to 35 hits, I had a little meltdown. I had a little cry and jag. And Dante made me told him, I was like, no, we're finishing this. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. He's like, are you really sure? Tell me what, and he made me repeat it.
Right.
Because he's like, let's make sure, because he and I go back several years.
Right.
Even before Zora, we had met through the lifestyle and just been friends.
Right.
And so that's why I trust him so much with stuff, because it's just, we go back so far.
Exactly. And that's what it takes in this lifestyle, in this community. I mean, it trust. We talk about it all the time.
All
Trust
the
and communication.
Don't just let somebody come up and beat you to the point where you've got bruises all over, because you need that trust. You need somebody who will acknowledge your limits and check in with you.
Yep.
And he has said, when we've had conversations about it after, he's like, I could just see that look in your eye that you were determined to finish it. And I was like, oh yeah, I was. And it was either you were going to finish it or somebody else was.
Right.
And I know for some of the less kinky friends that I have, they said it was really hard to watch. And it probably was.
I didn't.
Well, yes and no. So from their perspective of being less kinky, from somebody's perspective that is not a submissive, from somebody's perspective that doesn't like pain, I can totally see where they would be uncomfortable and questioning every act that took place.
And it was a lot. I mean, even for us, it was a lot, because we know you and we know that that's not your norm.
Right.
But on the flip side of it, you were into it enough that nobody would step in. Yes, you got checked on, but not stepped in, because this is something you wanted and you were clear this is what you wanted.
Right.
Yes.
Well, you definitely took it well that night. And I remember the pictures. I completely forgot about your Iceland trip afterwards. Wow. I don't see how the hell you've done that. But yeah, I mean, the pictures.
I remember her talking about hiding while you're there and you're putting on swimsuits for the hot springs or something.
Yes, we went to the Blue Lagoon, and when you go to these hot springs, one of the requirements is you have to shower naked in front of people. I'm the naked girl.
Right.
I have no problem zero problem showering naked. And then as soon as we get there, I start having a little freak out. Like, Lady K, you're gonna have to walk behind me. People aren't gonna understand what all this is on me.
Right.
It looks so bad. And there are kids there and stuff too. So it was one of those things. I've never tried to shy away from who I am, but it was one of those moments where it's like, we need to hide this a little bit. And the water is kind of this blue, cloudy blue silica filled water. So once I'm in the water, you can't see anything. So I
Right.
was fine. It was just the getting in and getting out and the showering.
Right.
Well, that and the fact, so you were a little out of your comfort zone. You was in a total different new area.
Country.
There was only, whole new country. There was only one person there that you knew, whereas normally there's multiple people there that you know. So yeah, I could see you definitely being a little uncomfortable and wanting to kind of keep that a little hidden, because who knows what would happen if the right person up there would have seen it. And yeah.
Oh, I had a story created in my head. If anybody asked me, we were hiking and I fell.
There you go.
Right down on your butt.
There you go.
Yes.
And you scooted like 40 times.
Yes. I
Maybe
was,
41 because there's one for good luck.
right. And then for my birthday this year, while we were here, everybody took it kind of easy, which is fine. I told everybody, let's go easy, because
Was it too easy? Did you want more?
Yes.
Aw.
Afterwards, I was like, man, I should have gone a little harder there. But my Lady K did try the vampire paddle on me for the
I
first
love
time.
that.
I remember that.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's odd. Very, very odd.
And I loved seeing it for days
The dots,
and days and the bruising that showed up. She didn't even get me that hard.
But
Right.
that's
You don't
because
have
it's
to.
underneath the skin.
You
with
don't
the,
have to hit hard with that. That's the thing. And it will pierce the skin just enough to leave those round dots for days.
I love it.
Oh,
It's one of my
beautiful.
favorite implements ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's been a while.
I was
haven't been
very
hit with
shocked
one.
when Lady D purchased that. And I think whenever I first seen it, I laughed because I thought, shit, I'll never get to use this on you. I don't know why you bought it. I mean, I'll use it for sensation, just rub it all over your body. And then one night we had it out and was playing with it. And I was like, all right, well, let's try this. And I just tapped her a little bit. And she was like, ooh, I like that. And then now I know about how hard it takes in order to puncture the skin to leave those dots. So that's always the end goal with it there.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I've already been online looking for my own.
Yeah, because you basically do have to have your own. We've had it where we've used it on other people and then we have to sterilize it and everything, but it's way better if somebody has their own.
Yeah.
Well, maybe send me a link.
Oh, no problem. They're not expensive
Yeah.
either. But I actually think I got all of mine on Temu.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
haven't
it came
thought-
from Temu.
I haven't thought to look there.
I don't know with the tariffs or with the, I don't know if that's all changed, but I got mine on Temu.
Yep.
I got a lot of stuff on Temu because we were doing the demos and I started buying different things.
We was doing the sensation play demo.
Yes.
Definitely going to have to check that out.
So this birthday we had wax.
Yes.
Right? Everybody got together here, and we set
Oh my
up,
gosh, I love wax.
we set up all the benches, and Sir Dante had his special blend of wax that he was wanting people to experiment with.
Plus, he was trying it out because he was
Yep.
part of the
He was
demo
part of
this
the
last
demo,
time.
so he wanted to try it out. So he had several participants that wanted wax, and that was part of your birthday.
It wasn't specifically my birthday. It just kind of lined up that way, but I was all about it.
Oh, well,
and
yeah.
you brought that delicious cake.
Yes. Is that not the best cake
It is
ever?
the best cake.
That was
For a
fucking good.
spring birthday,
That's fucking good.
that's always going to be my go-to.
All right.
And then Dante, because I was being feral as usual for that.
Your goal is to come in and just poke all the doms.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Pretty much.
There's a couple that that we know, and I like to poke them. I call them bitch hands.
Oh my God.
Master Nick, what do you think about that?
I've not called you that.
I was going to say, I'm not one of them, Emma.
No,
Because if I am, I can change that real fucking quick.
no, you are not. It was the joke. And honestly, with the ones I call that, it's not someone I've actually had a scene with. It was
Okay.
just kind of a playful moment, like,
Right.
hey, test this out. And I'm like, oh, that's all you got? You got some bitch hands.
Right.
And so then it just kind of became a
And
thing.
I could say, because I'm the same way. If it's somebody that I haven't played with or had a scene with or really, sat down and talked, I usually will go real easy as well. So, okay. I see where
Yeah.
they're coming from. And yeah, okay. Mhm.
But again, she is
Yeah,
poking the bear.
She is the poker.
Yeah, so I might say, is that all you got, Master Nick? Come on, you can do better than that. I might goad you that way, but I wouldn't call you bitch hands. I'm a little afraid of you and Sir Dante. You two are ones I'm not going to poke the bear too much.
All right.
I
Well,
mean, just a little bit.
so now I know where I stand, and I'll have to make sure I stay standing there in that mindset. So, all right, cool. Thanks for
Yeah.
the heads up.
But I was being a little feral with Dante, and he does let me get away with a lot more just because of how long we've had the friendship.
Right.
Yeah.
But part of the birthday thing is he took a birthday candle.
Mhm.
Well, it wasn't a birthday candle; it was a wax
It was a
candle,
wax candle.
Uh-huh.
and he poured wax right on the booty hole.
Yep. I got the film of it.
You
I videoed
did.
it.
That was great because I had the view from the back from you.
Yep.
And then there was someone else who
Yep. I had the view
videoed
from front.
from the front.
Yep.
So I see both angles. It's hilarious. I was giggling most of the time because it kind of tickled. It pulled for a second and that was a little rough, but it actually felt really nice. I'm like, this is interesting. And of course, it's Dante is always the one who has to scrape wax out of my booty hole because it always ends there. And I'm like, Dante, you're the only one that has ever scraped wax out of my booty hole, and I appreciate that about our friendship.
it was a good time. I
So
enjoyed
you're obviously kinky.
Just a smidge.
I'd say just a little bit.
So how did that start for you?
It's been a little bit of an evolution while I've been single the past 2.5, 3 years.
But you were part of the kink world, you said, for like 14.
Swinging, yes.
Ah, got it.
We would dabble a little bit here and there. Nothing like where I'm at now.
Okay.
Since I've been single, I always kind of held back a little bit. In my previous relationship, there was some underlying trust issues. I never really trusted to go that route.
Right.
But once I was out, then it's like, okay, let's explore this.
And see what I really want and where I want to go from here.
Yes. And it has been an exploration. Like yesterday, going to my first rope class.
Right.
That was fun. I had a good time with that, meeting new people, experiencing new kinks. I never had a clue I would like a vampire paddle or that I would like spanking in general, that I would like marks, that I would
Right.
like wax,
Right.
that I would like the electric wand, especially when I am chained up with Milady K in Ex Libris and I'm shocking her by touching the chains. While
that was so much fun.
You're hitting me, but I'm touching the chains for her, so it's going into her.
Yep.
Love it.
It was I think there's a picture out there where you had wrapped your legs around her.
It's a video.
It's a video. It's so cute and fun and everything that the lifestyle that people aren't thinking about the lifestyle, right? They're not, when we talk about BDSM, they're thinking all this serious and intense, and it can also be laughter and fun and pleasure with the friends and people that you know. I mean, you guys were getting the electric wand done, and at the same time, you're both chained up, but you're facing each other, and it made for the best night.
Yeah.
Yes, we had a great time, and I love knowing that I could shock her. And so we just in there talking, and then I'd be getting it, so I'd just touch it real quick, and she's like, "Ow, stop that!" And it was fun. And the last party at Ex Libris, it was kind of a last minute thing put together for dinner. There were like 6 of us laying on the bed, and there's a cute picture of us all spooned up on the bed.
Right.
And I was like, this is so much fun. This is what it's about. I didn't play with anybody that night. Milady K, we did have a little bit of a spanking session, but there weren't really any marks left on me. I didn't have sex with anybody, but I had the best time.
Right.
And that's the part, the social aspect is what I like.
Right.
Being ourselves, being able to enjoy.
And knowing the people in your group well enough that they're part of your group.
Yep.
Yes.
And in your group, you've got that trust that everybody knows their boundaries, everybody knows their limits, and everybody can blend and come together and can have, like you said, there was no sex. There was none of that going on, but it was a great atmosphere of positive energy, a lot of laughs. Everybody had a blast there. Yeah, good times.
And relaxation.
You were in a previous relationship that swinging was a part of, and you did some light, maybe spanking or light stuff.
Restraints.
Yeah, exploring that. So once you became single and you started really exploring, what do you feel like you've figured out about yourself? Like, are you a submissive? Are you dominant? Are you a switch? Where do you find yourself falling?
I think, and you'll probably agree with this, I probably fall in line more with the switch. I prefer submission just because the day job, I'm constantly in charge of a lot of things. I want somebody else to make some decisions for a while.
Right. Shut it off. Shut off your
Yes.
brain.
But
Live in the moment. Live in the
Yes.
sensations. God.
Yes, but I do have a little bit of a
What?
dommy side.
Yeah, that
can
didn't
see
come
that.
out at the subby episode at all.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The world may never know.
I'll have to go back and re-listen to it again just to see. I don't remember me being a dom at all at that.
I remember me having to really step up my game to get you in line.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't get a single spanking that day. I must have been a good girl.
I'm going to call bullshit immediately because I don't see that happen.
But yeah, I do prefer submission.
Now, submission with men and women, or just men, or how?
Both.
Okay,
I consider myself hetero flexible.
got that.
I don't pursue play or relationships with the feminine. I am more attracted to the masculine and prefer that. But Milady K, I sub for her all the time. We've had a thing going on for a couple years now
Right.
that I sub for her, and it's fun. It's non-sexual. It's just a play thing. And-
Right.
But I'm also single in the lifestyle, and I had a really hot threesome with a couple last week that was kind of impromptu, and I enjoyed that.
Well, good. I'm glad that it was fun.
Yeah, but I don't seek that out.
Right.
Right.
I generally
It just happened, and
It-
it was good.
yeah. Sometimes you just fall in a pair of titties and just motorboat them.
There you go. I don't know that I've ever just fell into a pair of titties.
I
but
have. It's
have you?
happened.
It has.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so much fun. You're missing out.
I guess I'm just going to start falling more, I guess.
He's so tall that it's not
Yeah.
like he's eye level, so he has to literally.
I have to literally fall.
Right? Or just lay down and maybe titties will fall in your face.
Yeah, that's never happened. Anyway.
We decided to do this episode, and when I asked you what topic you think would be a good topic, your response was immediate. What did you say?
Navigating kink as a single.
Because you began the BDSM as a single, really into it, where you're learning and experiencing and doing all the things. Like you said, you just did rope class, so you're really exploring. And there's pitfalls within that I have less experience at. I was single and interested in BDSM, and I had a couple, but you've been growing over the last 2.5 years, you said. So tell me some things.
Boundaries, making sure to respect boundaries. You know, the time that Master Nick denied a blowjob from me. It was
That was not a boundary, though. I did not set this boundary up.
no, but he was being respectful because it was something you
There
all
was-
hadn't discussed.
There,
which,
there was about 3 reasons there as to why I turned it down. Yeah. Okay, let's just fucking talk about that real quick. So, yes,
Boundaries.
yeah. So, yes, I did deny.
It was not, and it wasn't even a full blowjob.
It
She
wasn't
wanted to fluff
She wanted to
you.
fluff me. So I did deny that. So let me set the story. We are at the club. We're in VIP. We are playing one of Lady D's games.
What? I don't have games.
And in case you all haven't picked up in the over a year that we've been doing this podcast, I'm very competitive. So when I put forth my effort to play a game, I'm going to win that damn thing. One of my tasks in this was to find someone to take a picture of me naked in one of the playrooms. When I pulled that, you were standing there, and I can't remember if I said, "Hey, will you do this?" or you just said, "I will do that." And off we went to a playroom.
You did.
Now, at this point in time, I had never been completely naked around anybody in our group. So me being me,
I'm your first. Oh my God.
I always like to set the stage. I've done this on the operating table at the hospital. This is the thing that I do. I make people laugh before they see me completely naked. Just makes me feel better. So on the way to the room, I'm telling you, whatever you do, don't laugh. And we walk into the room. You take my phone. I've already pulled the camera up, and you say, "Do you want me to fluff you?" And I was like, "No, just take the picture." Reason being, I didn't know how long you was willing to fluff, and that was going to be time spent that I wasn't invested in the game. Again, I'm competitive. The very first thing that came to mind was, don't waste any more time. Let's get the picture done. Let's move on to the next task.
I am sure that many men out there are listening to you going, "What the fuck?"
Well,
Probably.
and that's the thing. We spent the rest of the night. I actually won that game. We finished the rest of the night out at the club. Driving home that night,
He scared me to death.
you're half no,
Oh,
you
I
was
was
in the
sleeping.
passenger
Got
side.
it.
You was half asleep. I'm driving. I slam my hand on the steering wheel and go, "Fuck!" And you jump up and go, "What's wrong? What's wrong?"
I'm
I said,
thinking an accident at 2:00 in the morning driving home from the club.
and I say, "I turned down a fucking blowjob." And she said, "What?" I said, "I turned down a fucking blowjob." When? I said, "Well, when Ashley went to take my picture for the game, she offered to fluff." I said, "No." What the fuck was I thinking? What the hell? It was the competitive mindset. But then also on the backside of that, since day one, since going to the club, me and Lady D's had our rules, and we've had our expectations set amongst each other. And there is, now there is multiple people that are pretty much free game. If something evolves and it goes to that, it's perfectly fine. But at that time, there was a very minimal amount of people that were free game on
Yeah,
that.
we
And at that
needed
time,
relationships.
you were not one of them. So therefore, there was also that 98% of it was competitiveness. The other 2% was, I really don't have permission, for you yet. I've got it now. And one day I'm going to force you down, and you're going to do that. So just be ready for it.
Oh no, I'm so terrified. Don't do that.
Feral ass.
Yes. But it's knowing the boundaries, because I've been in the swinging lifestyle so long, and it didn't occur to me that there might not have been a conversation between you all, that a little fluff for a game
Right.
that could have been a problem. Now,
Right.
I was never offended by that. I'm going to give you shit about it until the day we die.
I know you will. And even at my funeral, you'll be there,
Yes.
and you'll be everybody that comes up to the casket. You'll say, "He turned down a blowjob from me." I can just see it now.
I'm going to do your eulogy, because you know how they do at the funerals. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be like, "Hey, y'all, he turned down a blowjob from me. He's a good man. he did not betray me. He told me no."
Good times.
But yeah, it didn't occur to me, and that was still very early on. Like, hey,
But a fluff would have never upset me. I have noticed that since, Master Nick is getting so buff over there. the last time we were at the club, I was getting a little jealous. I was feeling a little possessive of my man. I was kind of staying right kind of close to him going, this is mine. And I've always felt that way, but he looks so good.
I think he's always looked good.
I know, but listen, he squeezes you now and he squeezes you.
Squeeze me, Master Nick. Squeeze me.
No, let's just move on.
Okay, fine.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.